Johnson? Seeing none, I'd like to, the board will now take comments from the public. Comments would be limited. Well, first of all, Madam Clerk, do we have any public comments?
Yes, we do, Chair.
Okay, we do. Then the board will now take comments from the public. Our comments will be limited to those with the subject matter jurisdiction of the authority. Members of the public who've completed a speaker's card at this time will be recognized by the chair and may come forward to address the board when they are called. The comments will be limited to 3 minutes.
Lisa Grant, Joe Wilson, and Susie Whitelaw, can you please line up against the glass on the left? Lisa, you can come forward.
Is this on?
Yes, I hear you.
My name is Lisa Gant, and I'm a resident of San Clemente. I'm here to support the Save Our Beaches organization. I'm here to comment on OCTA's 2024 action plan. I specifically would like to address the 2024 initiatives and focus statement in which OCTA asserts a commitment to environmental stewardship, sustainability, and responsibility. The south end of San Clemente beaches became the recipient of a mass dumping of tons of enormous boulders to protect the tracks. There's a sad irony in the fact that OCTA's solution to erosion caused fast and even more devastating erosion. I cannot agree more that OCTA has a duty to be a steward to the environment. The recent and ongoing issues with the railroad and beach erosion are of great concern. The railroad, unlike most entities, is not given resistance by the Coastal Commission when dropping tons of massive boulders on the beach. Responsive scrutiny and study is needed to develop long-term sustainable solutions. The boulder dropping accelerates erosion. We need to focus on delivering sand and retaining sand as a buffer between the tracks and the ocean. OCTA should be required to mitigate the loss of the beach. Solutions for the railroad cannot disregard public enjoyment and access to our beaches. Isn't that what stewardship is? The southernmost beach in San Clemente is gone. Access from North San Clemente to trestles on the sand is gone. This is not stewardship. This part of San Clemente, Cotton's Point, is not only beautiful, but has historical significance. It was a point of access to trestles, a world-famous surf break. It is the location of what was in the 1970s called the Western White House. The roundhouse above the beach was a card room where Hamilton Cotton entertained Franklin Roosevelt. Roosevelt stopped there by train in the 1930s. The beach access is gone. We no longer can walk that stretch of beach. The City of San Clemente and Save Our Beaches San Clemente are proactively trying to find solutions. This is the key to trying to replenish and retain sand without harming our surf breaks. OCTA should recognize that restoring our beaches can be done in innovative ways, using sand retention devices that will benefit all concerned. Rather than reactive, temporary, and destructive solutions, the Coastal Commission, the city, OCTA, and the community need to proactively work together
3 minutes, Mr. Chair.
to find these solutions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Joe Wilson?
Good morning, and thank you for this opportunity to speak with you again.
Good morning.
Our organization, Save Our Beaches San Clemente, has grown significantly since the last time we spoke with you. We now have actually thousands of people who have a pretty clear voice about what they believe is the right thing to do. I'd like to share that with you today and some of the logistics that we recommend. Supervisor Foley, several months ago, you recommended that we need to do sand replenishment on a regular basis. That's clearly the message that we would like to bring to you today, is that you have the means to be able to deliver sand to our beaches quickly and efficiently through rail cars from inland sources. Regardless of important studies that you're doing long-term for resiliency, possibly inlanding the tracks, other methods, but first and foremost, it's not okay to not do anything in the meantime. The beaches are gone. Can, however, with your help, get the sand back. Science proves that the sand will stay in the nearshore area, regardless of ebbing and flowing winter and summer. And that method will help protect your tracks in the short run. We know that. Thank you for listening. Really appreciate your support.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Dr. Susie Whitelaw with Save Our Beaches San Clemente, and I'm also here to comment on your 2024 plan and specifically the focus statement on environmental stewardship, sustainability, and responsibility. We're very pleased to see that you have initiated the Orange County Coastal Rail Resiliency Study. According to your website, a final report on the initial assessment was to have been published in January and listening sessions scheduled for the winter of 2024. We would like to access that report and work with OCTA as an important stakeholder in the community and somebody that we would like to be speaking with you and feel that we're being heard. As you know, we're very concerned about OCTA's practice of dumping more and more rock on our beaches. We understand that you have to protect your tracks. We also believe that the best protection is the way they have been protected for the last 120 years with a wide sandy beach. We are asking that you include in your study the possibility of using sand replenishment and sand retention structures to regain that wide sandy beach and protect your tracks. We've been working on a very conceptual plan to achieve this, potentially using a series of artificial reefs, patterned after local surf breaks like Cottons and T Street reefs. We believe that a combination of sand retention structures like this and a robust sand replenishment program would achieve your goals to stabilize the tracks. We are working with our local community to ensure that none of this work would affect any of our important resources such as the surf breaks and try to achieve local community support. This project would be both financially and environmentally more desirable than tunneling under the freeway. Even if that tunnel becomes necessary in the future, that's a few decades away, and you need to figure out how to sustainably stabilize those tracks for the next 20 years. We understand that Surfrider International has been included in your stakeholder group. Surfrider is an international environmental organization with an international focus. They've made their wishes known. They want the tracks relocated inland. Save Our Beaches is a local community stakeholder group. We actually want the railroad to stay. We like having a transit-friendly beach and a transit-friendly community. We want to work together to solve all of these issues and save our beaches. We believe that it would behoove OCTA to include us as one of the local environmental stakeholders, and we want to help you achieve your goals. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, do we have any further public comments?
No, Mr. Chair.
All right. With that, we'll move on to the consent calendar.
Mr. Chairman,
Oh, yes.
I have a comment.
Yes, Director Foley.
Thank you. Thank you for your comments, and I know how much you're working on those issues. I also want to point out that at the county, we just formed our first task force, and Dr. Brett Sanders, who you know has a lot of knowledge about coastal erosion and sand replenishment, he is the chair of the task force. And so we are working urgently to try to find local solutions to sand replenishment. And I will say that, I agree, I don't like the riprap. I think that if we're going to do that, there's a way to do it that adds sand at the same time so that you don't get that exacerbation of the coastal erosion that is caused when the waves hit the riprap and then dig into the sand. And so I know that we have a lot of sand right now at the county in our flood channels that's sort of backing up, if you will. And maybe there's a way that we can partner together so that we're adding sand as we're doing this riprap drop, boulder drop. And, you know, I know I'm anxious to learn about what's happening with this study. And you and I have talked about that. I feel like we're kind of in the dark on that.
If I could, Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
I'm happy
Mr.
to
Johnson.
address. I think as it relates to the riprap, I think it's very important to note that anything we do is approved by the California Coastal Commission, maybe an emergency development permit, maybe a long-term permit, and we're abiding by their rules. As part of that, we also are required to mitigate through sand replenishment. That's a negotiated aspect as part of the emergency development permit. With that said, if there's other ideas, we're happy to work through those as well. As it relates to the study, we do say on the website that it's supposed to be done at the end of January. It's February 12th. It is essentially done. We are briefing the Department of Transportation and the Undersecretary of Transportation this week on that. And we will plan to bring it forth to the Regional Planning Committee going forward. We've also been a little busy with the emergency work, and it's a lot of the same folks working on that there. So we are working through those, and we'll update the website to say either mid-February or mid-March, but some of it's just scheduling to try to brief some of the key stakeholders that have an ownership right in the corridor.
Thank you.
Hopefully we're one of those key stakeholders as a county.
The county has been to every meeting, as I think, in fact, there's been a focus meeting with the county last week, county staff. Yes.
Thank you. Now to the consent calendar. All